Good afternoon. This is Marlena Hurd, host of Sharing Stories. Sharing Stories is a show where we bring community members in to share their stories on what they're doing in the community and making a difference. Today, we're going to be interviewing Ralph Peterson, who's a medical doctor, managing director, physician of MacArthur Gastroenterology. Is that correct? Okay, welcome, sir. And we have Patricia Wright. Okay, and Patricia is an herbalist. Been doing this work for 47 years. Patricia believes in healthy food, exercise, and wellness. Is that correct?
That's right.
And Paula Beal, another powerful woman, community activist of the Hope Collaborative, is about community voice and activism. So welcome to Sharing Stories.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Peterson, I know that you're doing some phenomenal work in the area of hepatitis C, and I know that you are on the 100 Black Men, you're on the National Health and Wellness Committee, and you're just doing trend-setting stuff. I want you to talk a little bit more about what you're doing in the area of Hep C.
In the area of hepatitis?
Hepatitis C.
Well, hepatitis is an exciting time period right now because of the transition from a patient being treated for 1 year, December 6th last year, to now, where they've been treated for 3 months.
Okay.
And we're talking about a success rate anywhere from 25% to 70% in the past is gone. Now we're talking about a 90% success rate. And so 3 months of treatment, 90+% success rate, everybody should step forward and see if they qualify for these medications, which are themselves very expensive. But once you on this regimen, we see a very high success rate. I have over 100 patients whom I treat with hepatitis C. We only have one failure, but it just changes the life of people knowing that you no longer have to deal with hepatitis C.
Now, I understand that you've been doing this more than 22 years.
I've been in private practice over 30 years.
30 years, okay.
I've always worked up patients for a variety of GI issues, and for those that came with liver problem, particularly hepatitis C,
Okay.
I will work them up and I will refer them out because I did not like those drugs that they used to use in the past, interferon, ribavirin, and then recently in 2011, telepivir and boceprevir. I hated those drugs because of the side effect profile that they brought with them.
Okay.
But when Gilead came out a new drug December the 6th, 2013, Sovaldi. Oh, I got excited. And then I started treating folks because now you only have to treat them for 12 months.
Okay.
12 weeks.
Yep, so what has been the success rate? The success rate in treatment?
Oh, the success rate is tremendous. This is why people who have hepatitis C should step forward. We're talking about 95% success rate. Another company, Abbey, just got approved drugs yesterday, just yesterday. So the dynamics of this market is beginning to change. And they have a drug where we talk about a 98% success rate. So some very exciting times right now. How to get rid of this thing called hepatitis C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that's a really talked about area, and a lot of people are not coming forth. How do we get them that information?
Well, they're not coming forth for a variety of reasons. One, it's the responsibility of the primary care doctor to work their patients up for hepatitis C. And the CDC came out with a program that said if you're born between 1945 and 1965, those folks, we'll pay for them to be screened for hepatitis C.
Okay.
And once they're screened, if their antibodies come up positive, then they're referred to someone like me or another physician who's treating people for hepatitis, and then we further delineate those whether they truly have hepatitis C or not. And once they have hepatitis C, then our next goal is how to get them on the medication so we can eradicate the hepatitis C in their body. Number two, people may not know that such treatment exists.
Right.
For hepatitis C now. And so that's one of the reasons I'm on this program, let them know, yeah, it really exists. I'm treating folks with that. The other problem is access to care.
Okay.
Because some folks may have the kind of insurances that doctors may not take, so therefore they may not have access to that doctor who's treating folks with hepatitis C. In our office, we have a policy, if you have any form of insurance, we take you.
Okay.
And our goal then at that point is if once we know that you have hepatitis C, is to take it a step further, see how we can get you approved through the medication. Now the medication is over $100,000, and some insurance companies don't want to pay for it. So in my office, we pursue that. We get the denials. Once the denial's in place, the drug company themselves, if you make a certain amount of money, I don't know that amount, the specialty pharmacy do, but if you make less than that amount, I think it's less than 100,000, most people might fall in that category. Maybe 94% of Americans might fall in that category. The drug company actually will give you the drug free. So we can help eradicate the hepatitis C.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, it's a really big push because we have prisoners who are coming out of prison, and then they can reinfect because the hepatitis C in that population is higher than perhaps the population that's not in prison, and so we're concerned about that. So they need to be treated too, so that you would not have folks get hepatitis C, because that is a way you can get it through sexual transmission, even though the percentage is very low.
Okay.
But excuse me, did you say that they will be able to get it free?
Yes, you get 3 denial, which means you had to go to a doctor who's a treating physician. And yeah, I got several people who have gotten the drug free. They're a very expensive drug, and it worked on them. The hepatitis C is gone. They can't even believe it sometimes.
Okay, but why is this so much though? Why $100,000? That's a lot of money.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. If we go back before these drugs came out, when we look at interferon was just given to folks who needed to be treated because they were staged properly to be treated for hepatitis C. It didn't cost as much, but when you really look at the numbers, it did, because when we gave folks interferon, the side effects profile was very terrible. People became severely anemic on those 2 drugs, interferon, ribavirin, so they had to be taking other kind of drugs to boost up their blood count. They were hospitalized to be transfused. They went in and out the hospital, so that too added to that cost. So I'm sure Gilead looked at this and said, you know, we can probably beat that cost. And if you look at the sustained viral rate, SVR is called, what I mean by SVR is at the end of treatment. When you're treated for hepatitis C for 12 weeks, you're on no medication for 3 months, for 12 weeks. We repeat the test to see if any hepatitis C virus is in your system. If it's gone, that means it's gone. That's the SVR 12. And so when you look at the SVR 12 and say, okay, we have a 90%, that's huge. You take people with AIDS, HIV, who have AIDS, HIV, they're on medication for the rest of their life. For the rest of their life, they're on medication to suppress the virus. Same with people with hepatitis B, who are chronic carriers of hepatitis B. They're on medication fundamentally for the rest of their life. With hepatitis C, it's different. When it's gone, it's gone. We can cure this. So that's a huge difference. So while the cost, I'm not sure cost should play a role here. It's a disease that needs to be treated. But Gilead now has competition in the market because Abbey now is on the scene. Bristol Myers come up with a drug maybe around April of next year. Merck is looking at their drugs. They're coming out latter part of next year. So the competition is going to heat up. This is a great time for folks who have hepatitis C really to step forward. Now you can get cured of hepatitis C. Come forward and be treated. You're bound to get one of them drugs. You know, and insurance are obligated to pay for it because it is a disease that can be eradicated. You see?
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Paula, did you have any questions?
Well, I had a question about, you said the people that they were treating who were born in 1945 to 1965.
That's correct, yeah.
So those are the baby boomers.
Those are the cohort, that's the baby boomers.
So the reason why they are at greater risk is because their parents used a lot of drugs and...
I'm not sure if it was their parents or those that was born during that time period. What they did, that was free sex, all kind of stuff was going on between those that was born during that time period. But if you look at the graphs and look at the charts, and you look at who's mainly infected, it's that cohort of folks that are affected who were born between 1945 and 1965. So they targeted that, and they had a reason for targeting that because, look, hepatitis C is a quiet kind of virus. It doesn't give you any warnings. Unlike hepatitis B talks back to you. And 90% of the patients it's gonna let you know you're tired, you have jaundice, you got yellow eyes. It's hepatitis B. Hepatitis C, and 75% of the patient, if not more, there's no symptoms. You just have it. And so therefore, that eventually leads to liver disease and eventually to cirrhosis. And then you decompensate. Now we got a problem. You in and out the hospital because you got this fluid in your belly. You're getting confused. You got maybe throwing up blood because of esophageal varices, and that creates a problem. That's a burden for the medical system because when you go in, you have to be treated. And then you're talking about liver transplant. The number one cause for liver transplant incidentally is hepatitis C. And so when you transplant somebody's liver, you're looking at $600,000.
Wow.
You see, so, and it's not good for the patient. You see, and if you get on the list, and certainly if you're African American, I'm saying this on TV, if you're on the list, you may not get a liver, but you're on that list. So you don't want to get to that part where you decompensate. It's something we can eradicate at very early stages. One thing I disagree with the insurance, they're saying that people have to have cirrhosis or near cirrhosis before they get treated, and they're harder to treat than people who do not have those two states.
So that's the people that are in the later stages.
That they want to treat. I prefer treating anybody with hepatitis C. You present them off, the earlier you catch it, it's easier to treat, number one. The success rate is higher than if you're later. But insurance will want to pay for later because it could be a national budget problem because of what it costs.
Somebody could be dead by then. So
Or they can have cirrhosis and you get hepatitis C or cancer, get cirrhosis of the liver, and they decompensate and need a liver transplant. I just told you the cost there. So it is worthwhile treating people now.
Yeah.
Step
But
forward
you
now.
said that people don't have any symptoms.
Yes.
How do you find out if you have it?
One, that cohort that I talked about between the age of 1945 and 1965, they get screened immediately.
Okay.
Number two, you know what your lifestyle been like. You've been incarcerated, you've had tattoos that was not done professionally, multiple sexual partners and stuff like that. You want to be screened for hepatitis C.
First thing.
Yeah, first thing. If you have any kind of liver abnormality, which might be coming from diabetes or some other, or drugs that you've taken that doctors prescribe for you, it's a good opportunity to be screened for hepatitis C. I'm working with a organization called Roots, and they're screening folks now. What they found that folks are younger than 30 are positive for hepatitis C. 30% of the people that they're screening. So the question is, is this age group starting to use more drugs? That's the question that's on the table.
Now, Roots is in East Oakland. Are they in East Oakland?
They're in East Oakland,
Okay.
even though they have outreach into Richmond area as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wasn't aware of that they're screening like that. Wow. So, one more question. With the Obamacare, does that help people get more treatment?
Obamacare, for me, who take all the insurances, irrespective of what I get paid,
Okay.
because people need to be treated, and I took an oath. So Obamacare has allowed folks who've never been to a doctor to now come to a doctor.
Okay.
Obamacare has allowed people who need the necessary workup, who may have lost their insurance for a variety of reasons, now they cannot be discriminated against for disease that they have. So to me, it has had a positive effect. We see more patients often under Obamacare than before Obamacare.
Okay.
So for me, it has been very positive.
Okay, so Dr. Peterson, I do a lot of work with the homeless population. How do we reach them?
You got to go, you know where they are fundamentally. They're homeless. They might have benefits that they don't know that they have benefits. They can perhaps get insured. And once they are insured, then they have a right to go see a physician, be it at the county facility. And once they're there, then they'll refer patients to the proper sources for the patient to be treated, whatever disease they might be having.
All right.
So that's the key for them is to, they may not know that they can get insured, and they can get insured. And they may not be out of any money to be insured.
Okay. All right, that's we're gonna come back to you. Patricia, I know that you are doing a lot of work in herbs.
Yes, ma'am.
Herbs. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, well, I've been doing work with the herbs for about 46 years.
Okay.
I work with herbs. I work with also with essential oils. I just added the essential oils in lately because they are so much stronger and they do work. I have one product here that has the essential oils in it, and it's a liniment that is for pain. And this liniment works kind of like acupuncture or acupressure, because it also hits those buttons and stops pain. If you could put it just on the bottom of your feet or anywhere that you may have the pain. So I have other products, and I'm going to get those products out on the market soon. I'd like to say that working with Dr. Peterson has been really good for me, and he's learned me a whole bunch of stuff, and he gives me an opportunity to be seen in a different light, because I've been doing this for 46 years, and I've really done cured a lot of people of different things, breast cancer myself twice, stomach cancers, and all kind of stuff that is, you know, plaguing the community, along with lesser things like colds and, you know, helping people out with sugar diabetes. One thing that God put here for us was food and herbs, and basically I could start a person off with knowing what they have, like they could come with their, you know, they would already been to the doctor to get their diagnosis, and then I could work with mostly the symptoms that people have, like for pain or, you know, the symptoms that you got. I could work with them, but I like to go right ahead and put a person on a diet, because the food is full of nutrients, and you know, that's what builds the body back up, and it, you know, it really helps you. Like I could say with diet, exercise, anything could be improved on, even if it can't be all the way taken out. A person could feel better, and that's what we're trying to do, is make the people live as long as they possibly can and live a good life while they're living. You don't want to be in aches and pains while you're around here living. You want to live good. And it's possible. My father is 101, and he's on a stool softener, and he's on a multivitamin, and that's all he owns. He don't need glasses. I mean, God put it to the point where if you take care of yourself, yourself gonna take care of you. And it's very important, because, you know, people have not had good diets, and they go to somebody like Dr. Peterson and find out that they have colon cancer, and then they got to go through all of that. But if you just had a better diet, those things may not have happened to you. And I think it's important for people to learn about herbs, because it's something that came from in the past, and a lot of people don't use them nowadays. But in the last maybe 15 years, it's kind of been an explosion where people don't want to even really take traditional medicines now. They're wanting to have something natural, something that God put here, and something that's not going to have so many side effects. I mean, some of the herbs do have contraindications, but they, you don't have to use those. There's so many other. I mean, God just put so many herbs out there that you don't have to use the ones that have the contraindications, and that way you won't have to be worried about no side effects. And, you know, with the medicine, sometimes it's 4 or 5 side effects to one, you know, pill or one prescription. And if you're taking 3 or 4 medicines, you go in for high blood pressure and they give you 4 or 5 pills, you got 30 side effects you're looking at that could possibly do actually more to your body than. It's real scary on TV when they start talking about them side effects and what is going to happen and death. And I mean, it's just so many, you know. I think that it would be better if people start just using natural things and let them pills go.
Patricia, or I know you like to be called Miss B.
Either.
What made you start this?
I was about maybe early 29, 30, early 30s, and I got into the Nation of Islam, and I started learning about how to eat to live. Mm-hmm. And that's just what I did. I learned how to eat to live, and I went to Walgreens and AARP it was last year when I went, they have a screening and they give you your biological age and you already know your chronological age. Well, at that time I was 67 and they had me down for like 46. But so you could actually reverse. I call it age reversal because I'm getting younger and younger all the time. And I'm feeling better and better all the time. So I know that the things that I'm doing is helping because it's showing.
Okay.
And basically that's how I got started on, doing healthy things, and then it just grew.
Okay. So with Dr. Peterson, how did you meet him?
Well, my doctor had sent me to Dr. Peterson to get my colonoscopy. And I got in there, and Dr. Peterson started talking. I was feeling like I was in church. I'm saying like I ain't never been to no doctor. No doctor's office like this. He started calling people, and I told him I was an herbalist. He started calling people. I said, must stay there 2 hours for a regular, just getting my... So I met Dr. Peterson, and I've been glad for the influence that he have given me. And also he's going to help me with my product line as he get his product line together. Thank you, Dr. Peterson. It's been a wonderful thing because like I've done a lot in the community for many, many, many years. Everybody knows that I could do the stuff with health, and they come, and I've been feeding people like you. I work with the homeless. And I work with Alameda County Behavioral Health Care Services as a mental health specialist. And we asked Dr. Peterson, how do you get to these people? Well, we go, I think it's every 2 years, and they do a homeless count. And that would be a perfect opportunity I've been off work 2 years on workman's comp, but it would be a perfect opportunity to screen. Well, while you're right there, and if I get a chance, I don't know, I've been gone, I don't know when the next one will be, but in the next homeless count, you can guarantee that I will be screening people for.
My understanding that's coming up next month, homeless count.
It is coming up next month? Okay, well, I'll make sure I'm not back at work, but I can still get in on that. And
Let me just add to
Yes, sir.
because when she was in my office,
Yes.
I have a product that's getting ready to come to the market. It's a vibrational product. It's been in a patent pending status, and
Okay.
it's for energy.
Okay.
And it's taken orally. And so we were talking about herbs, and I'm into herbs also.
Okay.
Because I do believe that exercise is very important. I believe in the circadian cycle. I believe that the people live longer because they're timely about their lives. What they do, when they go to the bathroom, when they eat, when they go to sleep, when they interact with people, their timeliness about that. And so the body can do that easy and use less energy because that's what it knows it's going to do. If you take somebody who's on crack cocaine, on drugs, the body doesn't know what's going to happen. So they begin to age and look older. So talking to Sister P and being fascinated with her age, and I gave her my spray, and she got up twerking, all kind of energy. And she was into herbs, and I'm into herbs, so we had a great conversation. That's why we had this, and she ministered to people, and I ministered to people in my practice. So we just had a wonderful time in the office.
That is awesome.
And right now, I use some of her hair product, because I'm going to ball up in here, and I've been watching that process just come along quite wonderful. And I take also a herb that she created for people who get colds.
Oh.
Yeah. And I've tried it, and I've given it to friends, and they just, it's gone.
Wow.
Same day or the next day. It's like, okay.
Wow.
It was much better than control. And I have some of I've had it now for about 6 months. I said, how long did this last? She said, you okay? It's an herb. It lasts a long time.
they don't go bad.
So, yeah, so being healthy is very important because this temple that we have,
Yes.
that's all we have.
That's all.
That's it.
Yes.
We control this.
Yes.
It says in the Bible, this is my temple, but you keep it holy. And so that's what we're charged with, keeping this temple holy. So that means exercise, proper eating, get your rest on.
Drink that water.
Yeah, drink that water, yes.
So Patricia, I want to ask you, what is your take on arthritis and diabetes?
Well, those are both controlled by diet as well.
Okay.
And it's both something that people just don't even need to really have. Those things right there is just like, almost like a cold. If you do the right thing, you're not going to have those, and this liniment right here is actually a cure for arthritis. And I would like for people to know that copper is also a cure for arthritis. I got rid of my arthritis 3 times to keep coming back because I want to stop drinking. So copper, yes. My mother's doctor gave her a copper glove, and she actually had it to put on. But just a copper bracelet, you can put it on wherever, like you got the arthritis here, you could put it here, put it here on your leg. If you got it, you could put the copper, and it would actually draw that arthritis out of you with a whole lot of pain. So what I do is I use this to get the arthritis out, and the liniment to get the pain away, while the copper is actually drawing it out your body. And as far as sugar diabetes go, I feel like if everybody get on their sugar diabetes diet, or since they changed and made the new food pyramid, then it is almost like a sugar diabetes diet. It's just that if you get on that new food pyramid and have 11 fruits and vegetables a day, and the rest of it basically stayed like it was, but you need those fruits and you need those vegetables and you need them every day. And you get a lot of them, 11 servings of each. And it's yes, ma'am. It's easy to get them in a smoothie. So every time I get somebody on a diet, that's the first thing I do is, right, Dr. Peterson, throw them in that bullet. You need the extractor now. The blenders are nothing compared to the way the extractors break down that food all the way to the cellular level. And the smaller you get, the easier it is to go through your body. Okay. And I like to talk about those 2 things because it's something that we just really don't have. And black people have all 5 of the predispositions for sugar diabetes. So we are the ones that mainly are going to be suffering from it, Yeah, so if you got the predispositions and you just, you're going to get it. And then it's going to become one thing that I think, I don't know, Dr. Peterson might want to say something about this, but one thing that I think is like lifestyle, that turns into heredity as far as disease and stuff like that go, because if you eat the same thing, your parents ate the same thing, and, intergenerationally, you go back or go forward and everybody's on the same thing. So now everybody got sugar diabetes because y'all all been eating the same food. Or everybody got arthritis because y'all couldn't stay away from those sodas and other things that cause that. So that's the bad part, that it's not only in you. You give it to your kids, and their kids we need to stop. We need to stop and start doing things a different way and stop spreading these things, especially the ones that we just really don't have to have.
Yeah, we're becoming an obese nation. Kids are now obese because parents are obese. The kind of foods that we eat, the lack of exercise, the stress that we have to deal with, things like the sugar content that we're consuming. Sister P over here, she just told me she had all that soda that she
I drank soda,
her arthritis keep coming back, and she knows that, what is it about the mind? Do we need a renewing of the brain, the mind, so that we can stop doing certain things, because the long-term problem with diabetes is real. Kidney dialysis is real. It's on the increase. It's not going anywhere. It's on the increase. So we got to control that sugar content. Either you're going to pay for it now, you're going to pay later. And later is no good. Because you're going to be on a dialysis list, being dialyzed and trying now to get a kidney, mainly because of diabetes. Now, we know some people get it because of the genes. Don't have a problem with that. I understand that.
That's right.
But we're talking about those who just have, who are overweight, who have type 2 diabetes, that they can get under better control by watching what they eat and exercise. You really got, like I said earlier, you got to take care of this temple so this temple can take care of you.
Take care of the temple.
And do it now, because it's something about 50.
Do it now.
When 50 come, something about 50. Look like the disease is waiting for you until you get 50. Diabetes, I got you. I've been waiting for 50. So we really got to take control of that now.
Take control of it now. So Paula, I want to hear from you. I know that I admire you for your work that you do in the community with the Hope Collaborative and the food policy. I want you to talk more about what you're doing in connection to what Dr. Peterson is doing and what Patricia's doing.
I'm doing the Healthy Corner Store Project.
Okay.
I'm project leader for the West Oakland Healthy Corner Store Project.
Okay.
West Oakland is a food desert. All of the things that we've been talking about, all of the people have them. Diabetes, obesity,
That's right.
high blood pressure,
Yes, ma'am.
Hep C, you name it, it's right there in West Oakland.
Okay.
So I've been working for 3.5 years on this project. We now have the city of Oakland working with us. We're using the city's architects.
Awesome.
We have our developer from New York.
Okay, that's
We
great.
have the marketing piece, which is getting started now. And we also have the people doing work. We have the owners of the stores getting new cash registers, getting new calculators, getting new meat counters, getting new delis, getting their merchandise switched, getting all of that processed food out of the way so that when you walk into a store, we want you to see healthy, fresh fruits and vegetables, yogurt, smoothies, things that we've been talking about. Because these people are in a food desert, and most of them are trapped there. They have no way of getting
Right.
to the store to get fresh fruits and vegetables, to get things that they should be eating. We're trying to re-educate the kids. Most kids don't know what bananas are or grapes. They look at them and they walk right past them.
Yeah.
That's because they need to be re-educated about what they should be eating.
So the work that, first of all, I applaud you for doing that. The work with the city of Oakland. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I'm on the Oakland Food Policy. I'm on the State Food Policy Council.
Okay.
I co-chair the food systems at Hope.
Okay.
And I also am on the Food Hub and Food Enterprise. Everything
Wow.
dealing with food.
Food,
Nutrition, food, that's right.
nutrition. And then what has been your experience in working in these areas?
My experience, I love doing this, but it hurts me when I see 3-year-olds drinking a can of soda. My son used to tell me, Mom, stop telling people about their kids.
Yeah.
I said, you have to understand, a child is a child. This child is everybody's child. Everybody needs to be helping children along the way to getting healthy and staying healthy. So that's why I do what I do. I advocate in the community for all types of different things. The Tenant Protection Ordinance that just passed recently, the things with Urban Ag just passed, the things with the Oakland Food Policy just passed. So it's been exciting and difficult, but it's really a passion of mine that
I
I
can
love
see
to
that.
do, and I will continue to.
I can see that. Okay, so for the people that are watching, I want all of you to weigh in on this. For the people that are watching, Paula, you first, what can you tell them, giving them some hope for the future?
Well, HOPE stands for Oakland's People, Health, and Environment.
Okay.
And I would like to see Oakland and all of the surrounding areas, but just not here, everywhere. I want everybody to be healthy. I want everybody to have a peaceful, loving life. Because just like you said, you have to live for now.
Yes.
And this is your temple.
Right.
So if you can get on that page, you can have everybody surrounding you on that same page.
Okay. So your message to the community is what?
My message is to live long, be happy, and be healthy.
And be healthy. All right, there you guys have it. And Ms. B, what about you?
Well, my advice to the community is to learn, to teach. I like to see everybody going to church and, praising God and asking Him to help us to heal. Not just ourselves, but like Ms. Beal said, heal everybody and make it to the point where we would be happy to see each other. And I love for all of this craziness that's going on and the stuff that's happening behind the killings of black people, black men, and it's black women too, all across the United States. That's something I want to see stop, you know, because it's not giving our children a chance to grow up. They dying at 15, 16, 17, 20, 25. They just dying too young. And we're losing too many good people that, you know, God done put here, and he put here to do something because he gave everybody a job. So who's going to do the job that God gave these people if they did?
Thank you, Ms. May. And Dr. Peterson.
Mine's really interesting because I look at the colon every day, and I'm amazed at the architect behind making that colon, but not just us animals as well. And I think about the universe. This is not a random God. This is a God of purpose.
Yes.
That God did not make mistakes when he made humans. He made no mistakes. We have to make choices. It's the choices that we make. Choices that we make either going to help us or hurt us. Now is the time. See, it's not what you've done. It's where you stand today and what you're going to do tomorrow.
Okay.
That's what counts right now. And for me, when I look at patients, however you got hepatitis C, irrelevant. We can kill it. That's the goal. What your body is like, the shape that you're in, the mistakes you've done in the past, the weight that you've gained, doesn't mean anything. It's what you're going to do now. Because the body will respond to what you design it to respond to.
Oh, yes.
So we have to get busy with that now. And then we talk about this thing called love. Look, this problem on this planet is really simple. It's about love. Either we love or we don't love. I don't know how you can be a Muslim and killing folks. I don't know how you can be a Christian and hate. I don't know how you, where's love?
Yes.
And when we think about the two greatest commandments, one was love God with all your might and all your heart. The other was love.
That's right.
If we loved ourselves, there's no way I can steal from you or hurt you. So it starts with you loving yourself.
Yes.
Take care of yourself. Focus on yourself. That's not being selfish. That's the right thing to do. Because once you're taken care of and you can survive, then you can help others real easy.
Alrighty then.
So that would be my message for folks. But now, this New Year's coming? No. Today we need to make a change.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah, you need to make a change. Okay, so Dr. Peterson, when I was looking at your bio, the National Health and Wellness Committee.
Yes.
You know, I wanted to learn more about that. What is that about?
I've been part of it since perhaps its inception with the 100 Black Men National Health and Wellness Committee, and wherever a convention was to be held in whatever city was going to be held in, one of the goals that we had was to screen people for prostate cancer, for diabetes, and for other issues, and then teach and train folks what to do. We did one at our local chapter when Dr. Alexander and I first started with other folks that was part of the committee, like Michael Fleury, and we started with our own chapter and found that people with high blood pressure didn't know they had high blood pressure, or cholesterol that was elevated, or PSA that was scary.
Yes.
And so we just did it locally and said, what if we took this out wherever we had conventions, wherever the 100 Black Men had a convention, and do it there. So the Health and Wellness Committee grew out of that, and it just has been growing strong ever since. So wherever there's a convention, be it in New Orleans or New Jersey, the Health and Wellness Committee is involved. I have to applaud for that because there's no money involved. These are people that are donating their time freely to do this.
That's good.
My God. And the other thing I was fascinated about was your gold medals. The gold medals. 100, 200 meters.
Yeah. Well, you know, if I can talk it, I must walk it.
Yes.
So I do the same thing. I mean, I have a routine, I have a schedule. I'm 65. I run track and field.
He's 65.
Yeah, 65. And I had the honor of participating in the World Track and Field about 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
Competing, you know, Olympians, the Olympics, the people who like Usain Bolt, when he gets older, that's what they do. They go to the Masters and they run to the Masters until they don't want to do it anymore. And it's 35 and older.
Okay.
So I ran in the 60 to 64 age group, is in 5-year block, 65 to 69. So I ran in that 60 to 64 year age group, and I competed against other Olympians in the 100 and 200, and I was just very blessed because I trained very hard. Tiffany was her company called Result. I worked with work with her every day. I was dedicated to win this thing. So it took some dedication too. And I mean, I have a gift. I got some wheels, but they had to train the wheels to run faster. So I won. I got a gold medal in the 100. I won the 200. We set a world record, which is still standing today, and the 4x100, which I anchored.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so this year I'm gearing up again because I'm in that 65 to 69 age group. So I want to compete there and get some more gold medals.
And where is that going to take place?
Well, they have these meets all over.
All over the world?
All over the world.
Okay.
They had, the world was a year or so ago was in Brazil.
Oh,
It was in Italy. So it was all over the world. Basically, people retired. I'm still working. They're retired, so they have time to go. But these track events are all over the world. The National Senior Game, which is held at Stanford yearly. I competed in the last 2 years. I did okay there.
Okay.
I got my medals there too.
Okay.
So yeah, they all over.
yeah.
But I don't know whether a national final championship will be held this year.
All right.
I don't know whether Masters be held for the World Championship, but wherever it's held, I can go to that because I have the time
Okay.
that allows me to go.
Okay. And then the other thing I want you to speak about is everything that we do, there's a spiritual side. And I know you're writing a book,
Yeah.
Exercising Faith, Walking with God.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's really to boost people up that wherever we are, you're okay. Whatever you've done is irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's what do we do now with our life? Because that's what God wants us to do. I'm a believer. I'm a Christian. I believe that Jesus Christ came, He died for our sin, and through His blood, we're saved. So I believe in Christ. That's my belief. And the book of Joshua 24, chapter 15, verse talk about everybody must choose who they're going to believe. Everybody got to choose. So choose who you want to choose, but I've chose. And because of that, I started writing about it to give people hope.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's all based on faith.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For we're saved by, if you're saved by, are we saved by hope or faith? But if you hope for that you see not,
Yes.
then through patience we wait for. So we must have patience. Do our due diligence.
Yes.
Do our
Patience.
part. We got to have patience and work what you're trying to go toward.
Yes.
And things just happen.
Yes.
Because, when you're prepared, an opportunity, preparation, something's bound to happen.
Yes,
So you
sir.
got to prepare yourself.
Gotta
So
prepare yourself.
that's basically what the book is about. So hopefully I'll be able to finish that book in another year or two.
In
You just
another
need to
year.
have time to do it. That's my problem, having time to do it.
And the other thing I was reading, where you spoke about in your bio, the healing powers of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the day the Holy Spirit came and everybody was speaking in tongues and understood each other. That healing power right then and there. You know? So that healing power is for us. The universe is here to help us. It's not here to harm us. If we stepped out there in faith, things happen because that's how it is. That's what it's meant to be. And that's my belief. That's how I got into medical school. When the dean looked at my application, and did so bad at UC Berkeley because they had a lot of fun coming from the ghetto. They gave this brother some money and some time, but I didn't study like I was supposed to have studied, so my grade point wasn't as good as it should have been. And then when I realized who I was and what I needed to do, then I began to focus, even though I've accumulated those incompletes and those F's and those D's in the course, but I didn't flunk Berkeley. So I said, I really need to take care of my life and really go forward. And so once I did that, the dean got my application through in the trash can, but someone told him, no, that's a servant of mine. You need to go take care of him. So he pulled me out of the trash can. I get accepted to Howard Medical School, and here I am now back in the community, giving hope to other folks that I see now. Because the hope that I had and the blessing that I got from all of this.
You went to Howard?
Yeah, I went to Howard Medical School. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
I'll go
beautiful.
back there again. Wonderful experience.
That is beautiful.
I went from UC Berkeley to Howard. I went from a white institution to a black institution. But that dynamic is different too.
Is it
The white
really?
institution, you go, I need some more money. They figure out how to give you more money. You couldn't say that at Howard. Everybody needed money.
Thanks. So, Patricia, 2 more questions for you. I know you have a product line. And what is that product line?
Well, my product line, it goes from medical, like medicines, like the liniment, to, like he talked about the hair growing grease, to stuff for your lips, just basically for your whole body. You know, I make products for that, and your hair and skin is my specialty in that. And my other products that I make, it would be, I do things like the poultice, the castor oil packs and things like that for somebody that may have cancer, or, you know, when it's really a disease, I come in with that kind of stuff. But I've been doing that for 40 years, something like that, and I've had my product on the market off and on. You know, I'm just raising my kids, so then I helped to raise my grandkids, so it kind of stopped. I haven't really, hopefully I can get it together soon where it will be back on the market and everybody could take advantage of these good products. I've been actually doing research on my products for the whole 46 years, and I'm still doing research, and I've read so many books that, you know, I get information all the time, new information, so I'm staying in with what's going on. Now, my product line is kind of like I'm in advance of my time, because my product line, the mine that I had like 20 years ago, is the stuff that's on the market now. So I'm creating new things that, you know, will be probably on the market in the next 20 years, but I got some of that stuff already in the working right now.
Okay, that's good to hear. So Paula, all of you guys are, I'm just honored and humbled that you all are here today. I mean, you, Dr. Peters, and the trend-setting work you're doing with MC, and healing God's people. Patricia, your herbs, I remember myself, I took Herbalife. You remember that product?
Yes, ma'am.
Herbalife.
Yes, I remember
And
it.
I didn't stay on it, but I took it. And then you, Paula, with your compassion, your commitment to the community, and serving in various committees, and Just Cause work in that agency, I often wonder, how do you guys do all it and stay as healthy as you look and committed to our communities? How do you do all that? What keeps you going, Dr. Peterson?
Well, it's a desire. It's what I want to do. It's a
Okay.
focus that I have. It's a lifestyle that I've chosen. I
Okay.
mean, I read an interesting book by Og Mandino about the greatest 7 on earth. And in that book, he says something very important that's been part of what I live by. We are creatures of habits. And since we're creatures of habit, you may as well be a creature of good habits.
Oh, wait.
And so because of that, I've been really focused on how do I take care of my body so I can be an example for my patients, be an example for my family, my wife, my kids, so they can see what I'm doing. And so I've been really focused on that. So it's become a lifestyle now. And that's the lifestyle I've chosen.
Okay. And then what about you, Patricia?
It's very similar. It's like something that's needed. It's something that it's gonna make people feel better. It's gonna make them live longer.
All right.
And I think the choices that we make under sugar and white flour and, you know, all those products that's not really good for the body, that we should actually be throwing away, all the white stuff. They take everything, they take the bran out and sell it separately. They take the molasses, sell it all separate, and make a whole bunch of different products out of something that should have been all stayed together.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to having people to go back in the other direction and get out of them stores, buying stuff out the store. Start making your own cornbread and beans like Dr. Peterson does. And, you know, eating healthier foods like the brown rice and, you know, just get back to kind of like what it was. And it's, you know, that diet that they have in the Bible, if you get on that, you know what I'm saying, it's pretty much like that new food pyramid, and you will be doing all right. So I would just like people to watch what they put in their body. Even though I drink soda once in a while, watch what you put in your body, because what you put in your body is going to make all the difference in the world of how long you stay here and how you going to look and feel while you're here.
Okay. And then Paula.
Well, most people don't realize you are what you eat. That was one of our sayings years ago when Sister P and I worked together. We've been doing this for a long time. We've dealt with many different populations, mental health, the homeless population, veterans population, children, feeding, you name it. I think we did just about everything.
Okay.
So I know that this is our passion. I know this is what we were put here to do.
calling.
And I know that once we get to work on this population, getting them re-educated, teaching them what to do right, letting them know you need to get up and walk. Just go for a walk if you don't do anything else every day.
Okay.
Just go for a walk.
Okay.
That's your exercise. Going up and down the stairs. It's so many little things that you can do to keep yourself healthy.
Okay.
But a lot of people, they don't think. They're going through a lot of stress. So that's when they need people like us to give them a push, to let them know, come on, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You know you're supposed to be eating right. Don't eat so much fried foods.
Yeah.
Don't eat all of that starch. You don't need it.
Yeah.
So that's where we are, and I can tell you that I don't think any of us are going to stop what we're doing. It's a passion, and we've been doing it for years, and we're going to continue to do it.
Well, I am honored to be a part of your team. And I learned a lot today, Dr. Peterson. Mainly, I might need to come see you. And I might need to see you.
Yes,
and,
I'm glad to have you.
And I'm just thanking God today that Paula, you brought them to the show, and wanting to realize that we all need each other.
Yes,
And
we
we're
do.
all a part of God's team
Yes, ma'am.
of connecting His people to wellness. Okay? So as we wind down the show, we're about to close. I want you all to give a shout out. How does someone get in touch with you? Where are you located? Let's say someone wants you to come speak, appear at a conference. How do they get in touch with you, sir?
Again, my office, call my office, 510-562-7467.
Okay.
We sell all insurances for people who have hepatitis C. Don't even need to be referred by their primary care.
All right.
If you have some form of payment, call our office and we'll take you in, and my goal will be, how do we get you taken care of?
Okay.
Find what your status of hepatitis C, treat it, put you on that list, get denied, how to get you the medication free. That's what we try to do. So
Okay.
that's the best way to contact me.
And then I went on your website, which has a ton of information
Yeah.
on there. And the name of your website?
Oh, I don't remember the name of that one.
I
I think it's MacArthur.
MacArthurGI.com.
.com. Yes, at
Okay.
MacArthurGI.com.
All right.
And I'll pop up. You know, it's interesting when I get new patients, they tell me, oh, I looked at your website. So,
Yeah.
okay. I hope I did okay.
It was great. It's beautiful. And then what about you, Miss B?
Well, my home phone, which I'm using for business right now, is 836-0575, area code 510. And you could look me up at Aswad, ASWAD, Aswad Inc. at yahoo.com.
Okay. All right. And Miss Paula.
Well, my email is paula@peoplesgrocery.org, or they can call me at 510-927-7583, or they can reach me at the Hope Collaborative or Costa Justa Just Cause.
Okay. So there you have it. We have a lot of work to do, but we know who we're doing the work for.
Yes.
Him.
That's right.
Yes.
And when we're
Thank you,
doing the
Jesus.
work for Him, He opens up the doors,
Yes, he did.
and all we got to do is walk in
Ooh,
Yes.
with His team.
Boldly.
With His
Yes.
team.
Definitely.
So, Dr. Peterson, I'm looking forward in reading your book.
Thank you. They can put me to
Exercising
work.
faith, walking with God. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping maybe next year.
Yes.
Think so?
I like the timetable you gave me. Thank you.
Okay, maybe next year.
Yes.
And maybe you, Miss B, might be able to put something together to, like maybe a product line, a book maybe.
Well, I had a chance to
Brochure.
do book.
Uh-huh.
And I think I'm going to go, you know, I did the facility. We had a facility for behavioral health care service
Elementary
clients formerly incarcerated.
Okay.
And I did that instead because it was like hands-on helping the people. It was called Huey P. Newton Homes.
Okay.
And that was something that I would like to do more of, is to get hold to the people, just like you said, if all these homeless people and all these people that's coming out of jail, they forgets about all these people coming out of jail and they got to come right back here. So when the people are getting things together for the homeless, they're not counted. So when they come, that makes it where it's not a lot of stuff and it's all these people getting it. And you know, it's just not enough for everybody, but it is, because like you said, the man upstairs can come in and make anything happen.
Yes, they can. And then Paula, with how long I've known you, you are a phenomenal woman, and students need to know what you know. You need a book.
I know. I'm working on a cookbook. My great-grandmother and both my grandmothers, they wrote a cookbook called the Black Pioneers Cookbook in 1941.
Wow.
And it's still on sale today at the Alton, Illinois Museum of History and Art. It has sent 250 African American students through college with a full-time scholarship.
Wow.
Good.
And because of that, my grandmother, that was my great-grandmother, walking me and telling me about herbs and teaching me about herbs. That's how I got interested. But everybody in my family cooks. I have two brothers that are chefs.
Okay.
3 of my sisters have their own restaurant. Another caters for the church.
Okay.
My grandmother used to cook for 50. Every day it was 50 relatives in one household. So everybody cooks. My dad ran a barbecue. My grandfather ran a barbecue place. And now that's passed on to my brother.
Thank you.
So everybody cooks, deals with food in my family, but I said all of that to say that I am writing my cookbook, and I'm also working on another book.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Experts, Dr. Peterson, Patricia, Wright, and Paula Beal. We want to thank you for watching Sharing Stories. I'm hoping that you learned something today about your health and wellness. Give Mr. Peterson, Dr. Peterson a call. You can reach Patricia, and you can also reach out to Paula. And if you have a story that you want to share, I'm open to wanting to hear it on the next Sharing Stories. Thank you for watching.